Now would you look at that?
What is it?
What was that? What did you just read?
That was an excerpt from my novel, The Shackles of Desire. Do you like it?
It was marvelous.
Really? Thank you. That means a lot to me. It will go in print next fall, so be sure to grab yourself a copy. If you can read, that is.
Yeah, sure. I'll think about it.
Let me see.
Armors and shields. Everything from copper daggers to moon silver swords. Pleasure doing business with you. Come again. I'm getting new wares by the next moon's turn.
Fine.
Hey, you're an adventurer, aren't you? Come take a look. I'm sure I've got something that might spark your interest. You know how to bargain, don't you?
got it.
Farewell. Yes? Want to trade? A fair offer.
Understood.
Looking for potions and scrolls? I'm sure I have just what you need. Come again. May Tiara bless your path. Axes, daggers, swords, everything for the wary traveler. A fair offer.
Axes, daggers, swords, everything for the wary traveler. Farewell.
Will do.
Danger up ahead!
There. That might be the Purifier's camp.
Yeah. Let's hope the Mage brothers are still alive.
That's the twins. Shit.
I know you are here. What do you want? You should choose your words carefully.
You're blind.
I am.
Are you the Sacred Purifier?
That's what Aenir named me, yes. You came here for the twins, I take it. They are dead. They did not withstand my trials. I believe Joseph put them into that cage over there, in case you would like to convince yourself.
Blazes. So you're killing in the name of the purity?
The purity? No. I kill for purity. I do not know much about this Rondar Lacane and his servants, and it does not matter, because soon my time on this world will end.
Sooner than you think. You'll regret this.
What a lunatic.
Yeah. Come, let's get back to Haggard.
All right, why not?
Let's see.
You're back. So, did you find him?
Yes. He's dead. But so are the mages.
Blazes. I knew this would happen. Oh, god damn it. Well, at least you put this bastard to justice.
Listen, Haggard. The political situation in Everlight isn't gonna get better anytime soon. And it's more than likely that someone will get behind what you're doing. I found out, and it wasn't hard. I'm actually looking for a capable smith.
You? But what about the mages here in Everlight?
They will still need help, but you can't help them if you're dead. Back in my camp, we're mages too, and we'll do everything to keep them safe.
That's not a decision I can make on the spot, friend. Let me think about it, will you? Where can we meet should I decide to join you?
I have a scout stationed here in Everlight. Just talk to him once you've made up your mind. Think about it.
I will.
Look at that, boys. Some fun.
Bandits up ahead.
Sounds like a plan.
Whatever's necessary. Highwaymen,
Pleasant surprise.
This way, right? Interesting.
Fair enough. Let's do this.
More cutthroats. Take him down.
Is that all? Is that all?
Sure.
Fine.
Intriguing. Blasted armor.
Now would you look at that? Interesting.
Let's see. Huh. Intriguing.
More fighting. Does this never end? Is this really necessary?
Huh. Interesting.
Got it.
Leave it to me.
Get ready! I'll take a look. Fair enough. Let's do this.
Huh?
Shh. Can't you see I'm paying my respect?
Sounds like a plan.
Let's see.
Looking for potions and scrolls? I'm sure I have just what you need. Come again. May Tiara bless your path.
Intriguing.
Corporal?
Nowadays, few people remember the reason for Everlight's wealth, the glittering mine. For a long time, it was believed that moonsilver, the most precious and most durable ore of Io, could only be mined in the Windwall Mountains, the empire of the dwarves. All this changed when an unsuspecting farmer found a piece of the shimmering ore while digging a well. A gold rush followed, and Everlight, back then a modest town, grew into the metropolis it is today. The mine was depleted decades ago, but the wealth remained.
Fine. Finally.
Understood.
You got it. All right, here goes nothing.
Let's see.
That's the way? Huh?
Really?
Sure.
Here we go.
Pathetic. Oh, you're serious about this, aren't you?
Fine.
Interesting.
This way, right?
They will fall. Now would you look at that? You read my mind. Let's see.
Uh-huh.
All right, why not?
That way?
Mm-hmm.
Easy.
Huh?
Blasted armor.
You got it. Sounds like a plan.
Fine.
Sure. This way, right?
Sure.
Let's see.
Get ready.
Huh?
Help! Please!
Yes?
Help! Please! Danger up ahead! Don't move!
Interesting.
Huh?
Now, would you look at that?
Uh-huh.
Oh, you're back. So I take it you found everything. The fever's gotten a bit worse while you were gone, so you came just in time.
Rosie,
Shh, Georgie, I'm here. The kind soldier brought the herbs for Holy Frank's medicine. You'll be better before the morrow.
This isn't a fever, Tahar. This man has the blood burn. That quack's potion will do as little good as a drop of virgin's blood.
Blazes. You're right.
What? Did you say something?
Rahazia, your husband is ill. Why is he even outside?
Getting fresh air. Ever thought of that? Holy Frank said that there's no better cure than the smell of fresh grass in your nostrils and the warmth of sun on your face. And if Holy Frank says it, then it's true. It must be.
Rahazia, there's no good way to say this, but this elixir won't help. Your husband has the blood burn, and there's no cure to remedy that, especially not from some faith healer. You need to take your husband to a doctor as soon as possible.
Blood burn? You mean that plague? No, that's not possible. Holy Frank said it was just the cramps, the weather. It's been scorching lately.
Tiara's breath, Rahazia. Just take a look at him. He's already started to form blisters.
But no, No. You're a liar. I should have known it when I first saw you. Now get out of here! I don't ever want to see your face again! Get out of my fucking sight! The elixir will help, for heck's sake! It will help. And Georgie will be fine. You hear me? He will be fine!
Well, that could have gone better.
People believe what they want to believe. We should still inform the Everlight mayor about this, though. Yeah, I know. The blood burn isn't contagious, but the doctors might learn from this.
I guess. Blasted plague. Wherever it comes from, it needs to stop.
That way?
Finally. Child's play.
You'll regret this.
Yes?
Leave it to me.
That's the way.
State your business.
Whose house is that?
If you have to ask, you sure as heck don't belong here. Sod off.
Clara Farland sent me.
Huh. The description fits. Fine, go on in. Argyle is waiting for you.
As a free city, Everlight's leadership is not chosen by the right of blood, but elected by the town's nobility. The most recent mayor, Fulan Argyle, has been in power for over 7 years now, and is known for his endeavors to drastically reduce crime.
Let's see. Will do.
Well, well, if it isn't the notorious betrayer's child. I always wondered what you look like. I had something different in mind. I'm Phelan Argyll, Mayor of Everlight. Pleased to make your acquaintance. But let us cut to the chase, shall we? Clara has told me you're looking for an ally. One that can help you put an end to the Bloodburn.
For a simple village mayor, Clara has a lot of friends in high places.
Simple village mayor. Is that who she is now? Amusing.
Well, who is she?
Someone who was once very powerful but decided to quit. That's all I can tell you without her consent.
What else did she tell you?
Not much I didn't already know. Who you are, and your involvement in the Mage Wars. And before you say any more, I don't want to know.
You don't?
No. The less I know, the less dangerous our cooperation is for me. Also, I fully trust Clara's judgment. If she thinks you're worthy of our support, then so do I.
So, can you help us?
I believe I can. Let me introduce you to the Wayfarers. Come on in. Tahar, this is Rowan, leader of the Wayfarers, one of the most able mercenary groups on EO.
Rohan?
Tahar. Tiara's breath.
I take it you were acquainted already?
This man used to be my father's right hand during the Mage Wars. He was the one who told him of my plans to leave the rebels.
Interesting.
Don't act so surprised, Argyll. You knew of my past. And you also know that I'm the only reason this war is over.
If I hadn't told the Crown of Asamo's attack on the keep, he would have won. So yes, Tahar, you're right. I told Asamo about your betrayal. But ever since then, I've tried to repent.
That doesn't bring Zane or Helena back to life.
Look, you're angry. And after what I did, you have all the right to be. But this is not the time for discussion. You need an ally, and we're all you're going to get. So, please, let us just put this behind us, even if it's just for now. Let the Wayfarers help you.
So you warned the Royal Army of the attack?
Yes. It took me some time to realize how rotten our movement had become. But when I did, I acted. Just like you.
But please, I can tell you all about this, but not now, not here.
Who in the blazes are the Wayfarers?
Mercenaries, as Argyll said. I founded them right after the war.
Mercenaries?
Yes. But that's just how we pay for our shelter and our food. Most of the time, the Wayfarers are helping people. Refugees, farmers, homeless. We're protecting those who the Crown has forgotten.
Very poetic. And how do I know you're telling the truth?
He is.
Thanks. Look, Tahar, I know I messed up. I served a monster for over 6 years of my life. But I regret it. And I'm trying to make amends.
So, this army of yours, what can you offer?
Knowledge, tactics, swords. Whatever it is you and the Harbinger need to end the Bloodburn, we'll help you.
I can't afford an army of mercenaries. I'd have to ask the Purity for support first.
You don't. I will cover all the expenses.
You? Why?
As I said, I owe Clara. Also, it's not as if my wealth and my power protect me from the Bloodburn, do they? Clara has a lot of faith in you, and even though I'm skeptical about the Purity's involvement in your mission, I trust Clara's judgment.
Fine, but we'll have a lot to talk about, Rohan.
Yes, I know.
Well, that's settled then. But as much as I appreciate your presence, I would like you, Rowan, to hear, and your soldiers, to leave this city as soon as possible. An army this size of the Wayfarers will draw the Royal Army's attention sooner or later. And that's something neither of us want to happen.
Right. I'll see you around then.
Yes?
If it isn't the pariah, I didn't expect you back so soon. What do you need?
I'm here because I came across a victim of the bloodburn. One of the farmers in the outskirts seems to exhibit symptoms of late-stage bloodburn. I think it's best if your men look into that.
Bloodburn. I see. Thank you for reporting this to me. Learning more about this blasted disease is a difficult task. If more people were so quick to report the cases, we'd surely know more about it by now. Here's a small token of gratitude for your diligence. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes?
Got it.
Finally out of this blasted city. What a mess.
How are you settling in?
Well, I'm still trying to get used to the idea that I'll be working in an old shape of ruin from now on. Either way, I promised you my help, and here I am. Give me some material and some coin, And I promise you that I'll fabricate the finest weapons and armors you have ever seen.
Good. I'm looking forward to it.
The best wares from Kalea to Northander. Pleasure doing business with you. Come again. I'm getting new wares by the next moon's turn.
What a beautiful place you found yourself here. Hard to believe that it was right in Iskander territory all this time. As promised, I'll set up shop around here somewhere. My contacts should still be able to get some good wares from Greyfell and Everlight. And, of course, I'll give you a big discount.
Thanks.
Looking for potions and scrolls? I'm sure I have just what you need. Good choice.
Interesting.
There you are again. Gore's new friend. I truly hope he knows what he's doing. Orcs following the orders of a pale skin. That hasn't happened before. But, to be fair, you've given me little reason to distrust you. You did great in that battle against Krell.
Thank you. So you're the commander of the Firewielders?
Chieftain. And I serve Gore, our High Chieftain, who follows your advice. In other words, I'm the third down the list. Mainly, I'm here to make sure our warriors stay in shape and are well equipped. And if you're willing to invest some coin, I might even come up with a way to permanently increase their strength.
I want to train the Firewielders.
All right. Here's what we can do.
Made yourself comfortable?
Comfortable? Believe me, being comfortable is the last thing on my mind right now. Just look at this place. A Shaper city. Don't you feel it too? This sense of divinity?
You seem to be quite excited to be here.
Why, of course I am. Tahar, I'm not sure if you understand how much this means to me. The forgotten city of Mullendeer, the heritage of the Shapers. Since my childhood days, I've dreamed of this. I suppose what I'm trying to say is, thank you. You and the Harbinger have made this dream come true.
Well, all we did was save you from the orcs. You were the one who found the entrance.
You make it sound as if saving me from those greenskins was an easy feat. It wasn't. Anything else I can help you with? If not, I'd like to take another look at that rune LeCain gave us. It's at least as amazing as this place.
Now
Tahar, may I help you with something?
What exactly is it that fascinates you about the Shapers?
Oh, Tahar, that's quite a topic. I don't mind sharing, but are you sure you want to go there?
I am. Tell me.
All right. Well, where do I start? You see, the Shapers have always fascinated me. They're all over Io. These remnants of a once so glorious civilization. Yet for some reason, so many people are almost oblivious to it. On the one hand, of course, that's very sad. On the other hand, it also makes it a lot more exciting. It's like I'm a treasure hunter, only that everyone else fails to see the treasures around us. Tell me, Tahar, when seeing all of this, don't you sometimes feel like you're exploring a childhood dream? The kind of world the poets and the bards always spoke of?
Sometimes, yes. It's dark, but also fascinating.
Absolutely. But this childish fascination was only the spark. The more I studied the Shapers, the more enthralled I became with their culture. Did you know that at the pinnacle of their existence, they ruled over all of Io? A global empire with no one to oppose them.
You seem to consider that a good thing.
Oh, good, bad. The world doesn't work like that. Of course, there are writings that hint at the fact that the Shaper Empire wasn't all rainbows and unicorns, but still it was stable. And it persisted for tens of thousands of years. Can you imagine? All this knowledge, all this art, all this wisdom. Nothing in the Io of today can match that. Nothing. It's like comparing a sea full of secrets with a puddle of muddy water.
And how exactly did their empire come to be? They must have conquered quite a few nations.
They had the liberty of being the first living civilization on our Io, at least as far as we know. That made it easier to maintain peace and stability. Until the end and dragons.
My father always told me the Shaper Empire relied a lot on slaves.
What? No, that's rubbish. The Shapers had castes, yes, and it's probably the lower caste your father was referring to. But to call these slaves is like calling, say, a tanner who was born outside a royal family a slave, just because he'll never be a king. And even the very lowest caste, the Zalanyur, always had enough to eat, a roof over their heads, and could, without paying a single coin, get themselves healed by a cleric if they needed to. So if you think that's unjust, go ahead. Ask an Everlight beggar which era he'd rather live in. He's not a slave, yes, but in some ways he's worse off.
How do you know all this?
Some of it from writings, some of it's just connecting the dots. I know how many scholars are out there at the universities giving their talks about the inscrutable empire, but it's not nearly as inscrutable as they say. Their problem is they're trying to understand the Shapers by reading books and dusty tablets. That's not how it works. You need to get out there, into the field. And even if it takes years of fruitless digging, eventually you're bound to stumble onto something. Another piece of the mosaic.
Very poetic.
Because it is.
And yet, they died out.
Yeah. Great mystery.
Most scholars think it was the dragons.
They do, but I doubt it. You saw what the Shapers were capable of. Even a race as powerful as the dragons couldn't have wiped them out. And you see the shape this city is in, Tahar. There's no traces of fire and destruction. But regardless of what it was, it doesn't change the fact that the way the current races of this world treat the Shapers is nothing short of pathetic. They were greater than we'll ever be. But instead of studying this greatness, we ignore them. And why? Just because it doesn't fit into our religion, our traditions, or whatever reason they can come up with. Because to many, admitting what a marvel the Shapers truly were would mean admitting that our culture is pale in comparison.
Is our world really that bad?
That depends on your expectations. We could do worse, certainly, but if this is as good as we can get, then I have nothing to feel but pity.
Maybe you're right. There's a lot we could learn from the Shapers.
There is. In any case, I suppose you found your answer, haven't you? This is what fascinates me about the Shapers. They're a reminder of what we could be, if only we wanted to.
I see. Well, thanks for the explanation, Iskrim. I appreciate it.
Let me see.
Yeah, do you need something? I'm a tad busy.
What are your thoughts on the Harbinger, Rondar Lacane?
Well, he's my employer. Without him, I wouldn't be on this mission. Or, what do you mean?
I was trying to say, how do you feel about what he stands for? The purity of light, Aeonir's return.
Oh, that. I'm not certain I have an opinion on these matters.
Don't you care who you're working for?
Truth be told, not that much. Making a living as an archaeologist is hard enough as it is. I can't afford to be picky. And in all honesty, aren't Lacane and his fellows just more of the same? There have always been cults who weren't happy with the Guardians and believed they had found the true and only God. There was even that one who believed in a sort of schizophrenic God, who was both the trinity of 3 different beings and the singular omnipotent God at the same time. However that's supposed to work. Sounds funny when you think about it, but those lads were dead serious.
Does the Harbinger know you feel that way?
No, I guess not, but he doesn't need to know about that, does he?
So, you don't believe in Aeonir's return? In the new world?
No, I don't.
But there's truth to what the Purity claims. The Guardians have been unusually silent.
Yeah, because maybe they finally realized how silly and ungrateful most of their creations are and decided not to bother anymore. What I'm trying to say is, there could be all kinds of reasons why they've withdrawn. And I doubt a bonkers robe-wearing lad such as Lacane knows the answer.
So you think the Purity is harmless?
Of course they are. And like any other fanatic, he and his fellows will go down once people realize his God doesn't have all the answers.
Maybe you're right.
I certainly hope so.
There's something I've been wondering about. How did your cooperation with the Harbinger begin?
Well, that was simple. I was in Everlight at the time, on request of a nobleman. He'd hired me to do some work on an artifact collection of his. One night, a courier contacted me and gave me a letter. The message outlined the mission and the pay, even though the latter was almost irrelevant to me once I realized what it was that Lacane wanted me to find.
Molandir.
Yeah. You know the rest of the story.
How does one make a living as an archaeologist?
Good question. One I usually prefer not to think or talk about. To be honest, it's a tough life. For some obscure reason, only very few scholars take interest in the Shaper or the Hibernian culture, even though there is so much to be found. It's a shame.
Like what? What is there to be found?
What? You mean apart from monumental steel constructs? Ghost warriors and a city full of ancient secrets to be discovered? A lot. But that's another topic.
How do you explain that lack of interest?
Well, what do you think? Ignorance. No matter if it's orcs, elves, dwarves, or humans. We're all terribly bad at learning from the past. Blasted, there's so much to be found, so much to be explored. Not just riches, but the technology, wisdom, and ancient secrets. But no, for some reason, the people with the coin just don't care. The only ones who even try to access this treasure are incompetent amateur treasure hunters, who usually get their heads chopped off by the first defense mechanism they walk into.
True. It's a pity.
Well, I suppose that answers your question. The life of an archaeologist is hard, and there have been times where I questioned if all the sacrifices I've made were worth it. Yet, here I am now.
I've been meaning to ask you, how does a dwarf end up so far from the Windwall Mountains?
Let's not talk about this now, shall we? Maybe later.
All right, sure. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No sweat, Tahar. It's fine.
Found out anything new about the rune?
Well, nothing major, but still.
Yes?
I think that with the way we're using the rune right now, we're basically only scratching the surface. There's so much more it can do. Just think of the Ghost Watchers. What drives me mad, though, is that I just can't seem to figure out the details. It's like holding Nihal's hammer in your hands and not knowing how to use it.
I see. I found some materials. Could you use these to upgrade your armor?
Yeah, wait. What's that? Nihal's hammer. This is amazing. No, more than that. This is phenomenal.
I don't follow. What's so special about this thing?
This thing, as you call it, is part of an artifact. One that the scholars have been writing about for centuries. It might be possible to reconstruct them, and that... I can't even begin to imagine what that would entail.
Goodbye.
Tiara's breath. You haven't promised too much, Tahar. This place is incredible.
Just wait until you see it in action.
Just don't forget, we're here for a purpose.
I won't. I'll go talk to Flynn now. We need to find a good place to set up camp. And, if you want to talk, you know, about the past, then feel free to come by.
In any case, with our new alloys, we should be able to go look for the stones.
Ah, Tahar.
I remember that back in the Rebellion, ancient relics such as the Godstones were your speciality. Is there anything interesting you could tell me about them?
Interesting? That depends on what you mean by that. I mean, it goes without saying that what this rune allows us to do is beyond fascinating. Apart from that, I could only tell you the things you already know. How both the Hibernians and Shapers worshipped them and harnessed their magic. But that's about it.
So, regarding the Wayfarers, you said that you founded them to make amends. Is that true? And if yes, how did you found them?
Yes. Otherwise, I wouldn't have said it.
As to how I formed them, it's a long story. And maybe one we should save for later.
I want to talk about my father.
I figured you'd want to eventually. What is it you want to know?
Do you think it's true? But he was simply crazy.
Towards the end, yes. He had certainly lost his sanity. But before that, I still don't know. I've said it before, but there's one part of me that likes to think he was a madman to begin with. And then there's the other voice that tells me that he was merely a visionary who had lost his way. But if there's one thing I know, it's that he was a leader. Whenever he spoke to us, it was electric. To this day, I've never seen someone with his charisma.
You sound almost nostalgic.
Nostalgic? No. It's just... I've never met someone with that energy. You have some of it, Tahar. I only started to realize that here. But most of it is still asleep.
This might sound strange, but... do you see any resemblance between him and me?
Interesting that you ask. Yes, there were moments where I could not help but notice that certain... something that strongly reminds me of your father.
Could you be a bit more specific?
Well, I think that the best way to describe it is a sort of look in your eyes. It's somehow distant, but at the same time driven and intense. And it can be both intimidating and charismatic. I believe that it's this energy that helped your father rally the noble houses and all these mages behind him. And ironic as it may be, it might help you with our cause too.
My father never told me how he grew up. Do you know anything about that?
About his childhood? I'm afraid not. He shared some fragments of his past with me, but probably no more than he shared with you.
Let's discuss something else. Seems your men have made themselves comfortable?
Yeah, they have. There was a small disagreement between Flynn and the orcs, but we settled that, so it's all good now. But I'm guessing that's not what you came here for. You want to talk, right? About what I did 8 years ago?
Actually, I just want to know if what you said in Everlight is true. Do you regret fighting in the Mage Rebellion?
The big question. I guess the answer is mostly yes and partially no. I do not regret standing up for what your father claimed to be fighting for. But what I do regret is not seeing what he really was earlier. Look, Tahar. Seeing Zane and Helena die. Thinking that the same would happen to you, it killed me. But back then, I was just too blind. I still believed your father was doing good, and that you three were misguided.
Why did you do it? Why did you tell my father about my plan?
Well, what do you want me to say? I did it because back then, I still believed in your father's vision. What you, Zane, and Helena were going to do, it just seemed, I don't know, wrong. But that doesn't mean it was an easy decision. Also, I didn't think he'd execute you. Probably naive, I know, but it's the truth. You see, I joined Asamo because there was truth in his words. The masks, the pikes, all that hatred against us defilers that the purity of light is spreading now. It was all already there. The people always feared us, simply because we were different. Because we are better than they. Your father, he knew something like that would happen eventually. So he stood up and tried to stop it before it was too late. At least that's what he said. And to be honest, I still don't know if he only lost that vision, or had never had it to begin with.
I can't believe you're saying this. The reason the people hate us mages now is because of what my father did. He confirmed their fears for them by starting this goddamn war.
Oh, really? And what about all that shit that happened beforehand? The witch burnings, mages driven out of the cities, gifted children abandoned by their mothers.
Did you just say because we were better?
Yes, better. How else should I say it? We cast fire from our hands, heal wounds with a mere thought, so how would you call it? I call it superior. And the ungifted know it as well as we do. But does that mean that we want to kill them? No. We're not animals, we're people, just like they are. Only that we are the lions and they are the cats. We didn't choose to be that way, but it's what nature chose for us.
I don't know. But to me, it sounds like you're still trying to justify what you did in that war.
That's where you're wrong. It's not all black and white, Tahar. And you of all people should know that. I know I made mistakes. And I've spent the past 7 years making amends. What else do you think the Wayfarers are for? Why else would I have left? And look, I do not expect you to forgive me. I don't even know if I could do it if I were in your position.
Huh? Never mind. I'll be going.
Sounds like a plan.
Let's see. Interesting. Now would you look
Now look at that. The fabled Corporal. Good to finally meet you in person. I'm Flynn, second in command of the Wayfarers. I have to say, for someone who only led a puny Nortander division once, you're doing quite a good job leading an army so far. Not of them saying I couldn't do better, but still. Anyway, if you come to arm our men, I strongly suggest you do so.
But you're armed already, aren't you?
Well, yes, with rusty swords and dented armors. I mean with proper equipment. If you give me the coin, I'll send out orders to my contacts in Everlight. It'll improve our strike force significantly.
I want to buy some better equipment for—
Music to my ears. What did you have in mind?
Alright, why not? Sure.